Okay. With extensive experience in public education projects, corporate advertising, and public relations campaigns, government programs, and privatization communication, Mr. Zaki brings a wealth of local, regional, and international experience. During the past 3 years, Mr. Zaki also won 64 and now 65 eToastmasters Table Topic Public Speaking Awards, while serving as Accreditation Officer of the International Advertising Association IAA Diploma for the Middle East. Mr. Zaki accredited the American University in Cairo and taught undergraduate and graduate courses in advertising and PR there. Mr. Zaki also taught international integrated marketing communications at Cairo University, the International Academy for Modern Science, IAMS, and the University of Modern Sciences and Arts. So please help me welcome Toastmaster Galal Zaki.
Thank you, Ashraf. Thanks. Thank you for all coming. Thank you, Rawan. Thank you, Amal, Yasmin, Hoda, Jaspreet. I will share with you my experience. I've been failing throughout my life, and I owe my life to my wife because she married me after I was kicked out of several universities. But I got into the business of communication and advertising because I used to tell jokes to attract girls. So I was hired by an agency, and they asked me to give them funny ideas to turn into television commercials. And I got into many television commercials, and all the women above 60 are madly in love with me. So I did 5,000 pencils that read. I actually met Galal Zaki, and I gave them to women and men. Okay, let me tell you about IMC, Integrated Marketing Communications. It's not marketing, it's all the disciplines and tools of communication to sell a product or a service like a hotel, university, airline company, or to change people's behaviors. So I've been working in that field, and the tools are above the line, which is the mass media, below the line, which is point of sale material, flyers, brochures, leaflets, posters, and so on. And on the line and through the line are all the IT, the internet, social media, all that. Now, the disciplines are over 20 disciplines, and I'm going to run through some of them, and there are overlaps between them. Advertising, public relations, events management, direct marketing, relationship marketing. I'll go through them. And I added to the books corporate social responsibility, which is very important for us in Egypt as a developing country. So I will start off with something, and if you forget everything that I'm going to tell you today, I just want you to remember Rabostic. This is a wonderful tool there are many different programs for IMC, Integrated Marketing, but Rabostic is wonderful as an acronym because you can remember it, and it will help you to prepare a communication strategy that is going to be very easy for you. So can we share, Ashraf, the screen? Can I do that too? Or,
yes.
Okay. You disabled me.
You can press on the green button, share screen.
Okay, again. It still says host disabled participant screening sharing.
All right, try again.
Okay. Great. Okay. Here it is. Now, how do I want to increase okay, here. No, okay. Okay. Great. I've been doing this for many years, saying the future is not the way it used to be.
Gilgil, we cannot see the PowerPoint.
You can't see the what?
The PowerPoint.
You can't see the PowerPoint. No, don't stop share. Can you see it?
Yes, we can see.
Okay. So as I was saying, the future is not the way it used to be. It was said by a baseball player called Yogi Berra in America. And he used to say things that didn't make sense. So if you go on Google and say Yogiisms, you'll find these things that Yogi said. But the future is not the way it used to be. Things have changed. And this I've been saying over 10 years, long before COVID, long before IT and AI. Uh, and things are changing all the time, only they're going more rapidly, faster. And integrated marketing communications, getting the biggest bang for your buck. How you're going to get the best results for the least cost. Okay. How do I go into this? Okay. Also, there is a saying that says time past is contained in time present. We are all here today, including me, because of what we've been going through throughout our past. Okay. Okay, here is my photo as a professor. I got kicked out of many universities, but I was always offered jobs because I used to tell jokes. And that's part of storytelling and effective communication. And when you do advertising, you have to sell a product or change behavior 20 seconds, 60 seconds. And I'm going to go through all that. Okay, I will not show these ads. These are the pencils I mentioned that I gave away 5,000 pencils to people all over the world because I used to appear on television in many television commercials. Now, I used to have something called the 20, my company was called Perception Communication, and I had the 20 commandments. Oops. 20 commandments. Each one of us has to have a vision and a mission in their lives. So number one for me, working in advertising and PR, was to think client. The client is the most important person. I spent, 7 days a week thinking of how can I do the most creative thing for my client? What are the client's competitors? What is going to make it stand out? And sometimes I used to get ideas when I was sleeping at night, great ideas, and then I'd sleep and wake up in the morning and discover that I forgot them. So I got used to getting out of bed, putting them on my phone or writing them down so that the next day I would not forget them. The next one is mutual respect and trust are the key to a proper working relationship. There has to be mutual trust and respect between the client and the agent. Now, number three, I had this poster in every room in my agency. It's the one I use most. No excuses. We have something in common with India. Egypt has something in common with India. India has IST, India Standard Time, and people jokingly say India Stretchable Time. In Egypt, we have the same thing. We say they call us the land of IBM. I stands for Inshallah, which means God willing. B stands for Bukra, which means tomorrow. And M stands for Malish, which means never mind. So Egyptians are never on time. Okay, these are all things that I learned. You have to have a deadline. You have to have responsibilities. You have to document things, put them down. Who said them? Is it true? And CYA. Does anybody know what CYA is? If you can put it in the chat box. CYA. Anybody? Anything, Ashraf? Okay. I had the head of the Ceylon tea board, and she loved the poster, and she took it home. And then she called me on the phone. She said, Galal, what's CYA? I told her, cover your ass. Saying So you have to document things, don't just say somebody said it. And then the boss is always right. Okay. Okay. No one in the whole world would have believed that social media could have started a revolution that would have changed the face of history. This, and Philip Kotler, who came here around 10 years ago, he's the god of marketing. He said, if you're in the same business in the coming 5 years, you'll be out of business. Innovate or evaporate. And this was long before artificial intelligence, so it's happening even faster. People are going to be out of jobs, and we're going to have robots doing everything. I just heard the latest. We got a Shih Tzu dog, a little puppy, and we talked to the dog. Now I hear that artificial intelligence will be able to tell us what the dog is saying, and will be able to tell the dog what we are saying in a language that is understood by both of us. So again, and I'm going to share these three presentations with Ashraf. For those of you who are out of Egypt, we will send them to you. They're quite heavy because they've got a lot of materials, but I will be talking about three different things: integrated marketing communications and how to communicate effectively, and corporate social responsibility, which is a very important thing. And I did a world summit on it, and still people don't understand the difference between CSR and philanthropy. And I'll tell you why it's important for developing countries like Egypt. And thirdly, I will give you over 40 ways of being creative. So these are the three different presentations. And Ashraf, if you can tell me timelines, like after 1 hour, and then we can take a break if you like. And then I did 3 hours, but we're talking about 2 hours. But Ashraf, you can tell me, give me just a hands up before we stop. So today in corporate, with what's happening globally, and corporate social responsibility, we're talking about the triple bottom line, not the bottom line. So, and it's about the triple P: people, planet, profit. So I will go through that in the corporate social responsibility session. This is a session that I had with Lula Zaklama. She was the chairperson of IPRA, International Public Relations Advertising, Public Relations Organization all over the world. And we had a session on the rise of public relations and the fall of advertising. There is no such thing there. And her partner wrote this book, Edelman wrote the book, because having taught and practiced advertising and public relations, it's everything together when we talk about integrated marketing communication. But Lula, because she's a very dear friend of mine, I gave her the public relations gloves and got her to give me the knockout. Okay, this is what we call the IMC, Integrated Marketing Communication. And these are just 9 of the 22 different disciplines in PR. And there are overlaps: public relations, advertising, sales promotion, personal selling, direct marketing, e-marketing, events management, branding, sponsorship. And onto the books, I put corporate social responsibility and other items. When you integrate all these disciplines, you get a bigger mileage for less money, because you're not playing each one on its own. Okay, these are the tools, and I mentioned: above the line, television, newspaper, magazine; on the line and through the line, digital, internet, website, social media; below the line is both. These are the tools. The others are disciplines. Here are some of them again: advertising, public relations, direct marketing, relationship marketing, sales promotion, direct sales, branding, sponsorship. I call sponsorship business partnership, BP, because sponsorship has become a dirty word now. Everybody is used to, I'm going to put your logo on 10,000 leaflets, I'm going to do this. No, business partnership is a better term. Events management, corporate social responsibility, word of mouth. And I'll share over 20 disciplines. Okay, this is the one thing I want all of you to remember, Rabosik. Rabosik, because it will help you in organizing your thinking and doing great impact with communication. First thing you have to do is research and a SWOT analysis. Research, where are you coming from? If you're selling a telephone, okay? Well, what are the sales? What are the sales of this phone? What is the awareness? What are your strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities and threats? The SWOT analysis. And then you go into audiences. And audiences, you do a stakeholder mapping that is color-coded according to priority. And it's everyone and anyone who can affect or be affected by your communication strategy. So I will jump to that slide here. So this is a stakeholder mapping. So if you are here, you're selling your phone, okay? Who are very important to you? Your clients, the government, you have to pay taxes. Your employees are very important, especially if you are offering a service like a bank, for example. The most important stakeholder is the employee, because if he's not paid well and if he's not happy, he's not going to smile at your face and say, good morning, Jaspreet, how are you? I know you like tea that is so-and-so, and so it makes you feel comfortable. The shareholders of the company, and the media, the retailers, suppliers. Then you have other things, competitors, advertising, insurance. So you color code it according to what is your priority, okay? So that's regarding audiences. Budgets, how much money do you have to spend on your campaign? And especially now with social media, it's become much cheaper, but it used to be very expensive to go on television here in Egypt. Objectives, again, have to be SMART with a double R and a double T, and I call them SMART as from a book that I read here. Specific. Your objectives have to be specific, measurable, appropriate, realistic. You can't say we want to make $1 million in one day. Relevant. It has to do with what you're trying to communicate to sell. Targeted. Who are your target audiences? And we said we've got them color coded and time bound. And the S of SMART S, it was written in a book by a woman. S stands for ambitious, scary, satisfying. So you have to have SMART as objectives. Okay. Okay, that's objectives. Now, strategy is long-term and tactics is short-term. I always use the campaign of Schweppes. It came into Egypt as one of the last soft drinks in Egypt. And we did a very successful campaign for them. And I wrote an article that went into Media International, one of the top marketing magazines in England. And I will share this article again with Ashraf and with you guys on how we were taken to England, which was the headquarters of Schweppes. It was not owned by Coke at the time. And Schweppes in Egypt were 30% of the market, whereas Coca-Cola were part of 30, not 30%. And Coke and Pepsi were 70%. So how would they fight against those giants? We learned a lot from them. And from them, it was two things. The most important thing was their secret weapon called the 3 C's. And I will mention it. Consistency, concentration, continuity, where the whole campaign becomes greater than the sum of its parts. And I'll tell you how we were taught to think global. That's what made Schweppes successful throughout the world, and act local. So we created global advertising. We made use of what their success was all about outside Egypt. And then how does this apply to Egyptians? Tactics is short term. It's like on the occasion of, the New Year, buy 2, get 1 free, on the occasion of Valentine, on the occasion of Mother's Day. So it's a short term. Implementation has 3 elements in it. What are the tasks? Who is responsible for each one of them? And what's the timeline? So tasks, implementation, timeline. And finally, control is monitoring and evaluation. Where have we done right? Where have we gone wrong? What are the lessons learned? So robustic model is a wonderful tool, and the acronym is easy to remember. And that's, I would love you guys to remember about, because it will help you before you start any communications. This is another model, but it's not easy to read as an acronym. It's got the same stuff: current situation analysis, segmentation, which is the audiences, targeting, and so on. Again, those are the objectives we mentioned, and this is the stakeholder mapping. Now, there's something called the decision-making unit. I use this, for example, as when my daughters were 5 years old and they wanted ice cream. So they would be the user, all right? Now, who's going to buy? They don't have the money. I will be the buyer, all right? Now, who's going to be the decider? My wife. She's going to tell me, Galal, if you're going to get your daughter's ice cream that has additives and preservatives, you will spend the night at Amal Garagmes tonight. Okay? So she is the decider. Gatekeeper, if I'm going to a supermarket, mall, you know, and say, are they selling ice cream here? And they say no, then I will not go. Then influencer, if somebody wants to work with a company, and his secretary tells him, be careful, the man in that company has been saying bad things about you. She can, or if it's someone there in the same company who has a relative working in another company, so he will send the deal to the other company. Or if it's somebody who's corrupt and wants to take money from under the table, he'll say, Ashraf, I'm going to get you the business, but I'm going to take 15% commission. Then there's another one here called specifier. Brown Bovary, who are into fire extinguishers, wanted to sell to a factory. So they said, who's the buyer? It was the financial manager. Who's the specifier? It was the engineer in the factory. So they sent each one of them an email and got them to meet, and they finally bought the Brown Bovary equipment. Okay. I have a saying, plan ahead. If you don't know where you're going, you won't get there. All right? Without research, you're in a dark tunnel. Either you're going to see the light at the end of it or a train coming at you. But I have several communication strategies where I went completely against research and I succeeded. So use research as a guide, not a god. Some people would use research the way a drunkard uses a lamppost for support rather than illumination. All right? Okay, this is a wonderful tool called mind mapping, and it helps you in your creative. So how do I get the biggest bang for my buck, the maximum for least money? That put the heading here and start off in the middle. How does advertising work? What are the media, the new media? What is the creative strategy in copywriting? What are the principles? Do you know that 80% of anybody who reads any written copy reads only the headline? So if you don't tell them what's in it for them in the headline, you've lost 80% of the target audience. Again, body copy, the text, how should it be long or should it be short? I'll give you examples. Okay, and then you have also packaging as a marketing tool. You have public relations, media relations, all that. So mind mapping takes you from one place to another and you become very creative. Okay, I put a word there. Can anybody tell me in the chat if they saw any picture? Any picture when you saw this word? Can somebody put something? Can you allow them to put something in the chat, Ashraf? Banana, okay. Anybody else? I have a favorite one, banana. Who else? Nobody else? Come on, guys.
We have to name just the fruit name?
Yeah, any fruit that you you saw when you saw the word?
Mango.
Mango. I love your mangoes. What else? What else? Any fruits? Any fruits? I have a favorite one. Apple. Yes, Yasmin Al-Arabi, my favorite. Okay. When I say apple, okay, what's the color of the apple?
Red.
Red. What else?
Yellow.
Yellow. What else?
Green.
Green. Okay, so apple, red, yellow, green. What do you do with an apple?
Eat.
Eat it. What else?
Make juice.
Apple juice. Okay, what else?
Apple pie.
Apple pie. Wonderful. What else? Fruit salad. Okay. Now, so you write all these down. This is mind mapping. What happened when somebody had an apple fall on his head?
Newton.
An apple fell on somebody's head. What's that? What did
Newton.
it fall?
Gravitation. Gravitation.
Gravity. Yeah, Newton's law of gravity. Okay. An apple a day.
Keeps doctor away.
Okay. An onion a day keeps everybody away.
Keeps ghost away.
Yeah. And do you know that if Eve did not, you girls did not convince Adam to eat the forbidden fruit, we would have been in heaven. So there's apple, the forbidden fruit. Okay, let's go to it. Where are we? Okay. There you are. Somebody said banana. Banana, yellow, Caribbean, potassium. Apple, a doctor away. Eve, pie, orange. And so mind mapping is a wonderful tool to get us to become creative. These are the three principles I mentioned from Schweppes: consistency, concentration, continuity, where the whole campaign becomes greater than the sum of its parts. When they took us to London, they showed us commercials that they did. There was someone called William Franklin, and we had no internet at the time and all that. It was television. So he turns on the light on the screen, and he's in an office, and he takes out a bottle of Schweppes, and he starts drinking from it and talking about it. And people come behind him with daggers, and they're about to hit him, and he presses a button, and they fall down, and he says the experience is almost frightening. So William Franklin would come out and say, talk about the product and say, natural fruit particles embraced in a mist of refreshing bubbles. And then he'd talk about the secret of shh, you know what, produced by you know who. And when he'd say shh, we'd see the bottle with the SCH of Schweppes. So this was all the time William Franklin talking about the secret of shh on all the media. Concentration, Schweppes was the only carbonated drink that had natural fruit particles in it. That was its USP, unique selling proposition. So the only soft drink with natural fruit particles in it. Continuity, don't keep changing William Franklin with someone else. So the effect of all these things make the campaign greater than the sum of its parts. When we came back to Egypt, we used an Egyptian actor called Hassan Abdin, and we turned it into the secret of Schweppes. We said it clearly, not the secret of shh. And we had several. Every time he's about to reveal the secret, something happens to stop it. Now, what I learned from Schweppes, I broke the rules with. I had my own agency, and I convinced my client that I would do an ad that would not show his product, that would not mention the name of his product, and that would encourage consumers to go and buy competitive products. My client said, Galal, you're joking. I told him, Adil, I'm going to do this ad at my own expense, and I will pre-test it at my own expense. And if it works, you have to go down with it and you have to pay me. He went down with it, and over 2 months later, he said, Galal, stop the ad. I said, why? He said, I've sold out. And this ad, I came out in the ad. I was always in the ad in all the media. So people recognized me as representing this. It was an edible oil, sunflower seed oil. Okay. Okay, great. We'll upload the session. Next. Okay, as I mentioned, 80% of anybody who reads anything reads the headline only. So there's something called WIIFM. What's in it for me? So I have to say, you know, whatever. Ashraf, if you want to make $1 million in 1 week, read this article. Then reverse print. This is reverse print, but when it becomes very small, it becomes 60% more difficult than if this was in a dark color on a light background. And I'll show you an example of that. Long body copy or short body copy, I'll give you examples. Okay, we have a saying, tell me quick and tell me true, or else, my friend, the hell with you. If you don't tell people what it's in it for them and what you're trying to sell, whether it's a product or a service, or to change behavior very quickly, people will turn off. Then again, what I mentioned, what's in it for me, WIIFM. Then there's IDA. Does anybody know what IDA stands for in communication? Jaspreet, you're the one.
Sorry? You have written it down, attention, interest, desire, action.
Yes, great, Jaspreet. I think you should take over, Jaspreet. Are you into advertising or what?
Actually, I'm a content writer, technical content writer.
Yeah. Fantastic, fantastic. Okay. Okay, most people don't know what business they're in. So if you don't know what business you're in, how can you communicate to sell your product? Now, how can I show my screen? Can people see me, Ashraf? Can people see my
yes,
face?
They can.
Yeah, they can.
Yes? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what am I selling here? Anybody?
Mobile phone? Cell phone?
No.
Smartphone?
No. So if I don't know what I'm selling, how can I communicate to sell it? Anybody else?
A communication device.
No.
Connecting to people.
No. Hi, Miral.
A small computer.
No. So how can I sell it if I don't know what it is? Okay, we have a saying, we're selling the sizzle, not the steak. We're selling what's behind this. So this, for me, is prestige. I want to tell everybody I'm a rich guy. I've got the iPhone 100 that costs $50,000. So I'm an important guy. For a mother, it could be security. She's worried her daughter is coming in a taxi at midnight, and she wants to make sure that her daughter is safe. So we're selling the sizzle, not the steak. Okay. You're not a dentist. You're a pain reliever or a sex appeal maker. You make my teeth white and my breath fresh so that when I go and kiss my wife, she doesn't say, go and sleep at Ashraf's place. When I say Harvard, you're not selling education. You're selling prestige, all right? So we're selling the sizzle, not the steak. Then words in a headline that sell are you, how you can become whatever, how you can lose weight without and eat as much as you want. New, again, now, free. These are words that sell. So just treat you know, of course, that in content creation. Okay, Nordstrom. Has anybody heard of Nordstrom? It's a shop. It's a big, huge shop in America that sells everything from the pin to the rocket, skyrocket. Have you heard of Nordstrom?
Yes, of course.
Anybody been there? Rawan? Yeah?
Yes. Yes, I know it.
Nordstrom is known for customer satisfaction. So a customer went in and told them, I want to return my car tires. So they told him, okay, where's your receipt? He says, I lost them. So they told him, well, how much did you pay for them? Does anybody know how much car tires are for now? I don't know. What? Any number? How much do car tires cost in dollars in India? Anyway,
Is
they
it like
paid.
Amazon? Because I'm first time hearing this.
Okay, so they gave him the money anyway. Now, what's funny about this is Nordstrom doesn't sell car tires, but this story went into Philip Kotler, the guru of advertising and marketing, and it sold in, and he turned into 20 different languages. So the amount of public relations mileage that Nordstrom got as customer satisfaction was much more than what they paid. Now, if they do this in Egypt, they'll close down because Egyptians will come and change everything. Okay, you remember I said long body copy or short body copy? If it's very expensive, this was a Rolls Royce, and the headline is nearly 14 words. It says, at 60 miles an hour, the loudest noise in this new Rolls Royce comes from the electric clock. They didn't have digital at the time. So the engineer at Rolls Royce, when he read this ad, he got so angry. He said, yes, we must do something about that damn clock. If you see cars in Egypt with all the bumps, they go chick, 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 like that. And he has over 400 words in the body copy. It's because you have to say it's got after sales service. If it's expensive, you need to tell people all about it. Here, a different story, which goes against research. Volkswagen Beetle was done and produced in Germany. They wanted to sell it in America. Sorry? Sorry? Okay. They wanted to sell it in America. And the research said, no, Americans will not buy a small car. So they went completely against the research and they said, think small. Then they started saying that, you know, the car will be easier to park. It will take less petrol and so on. Again, here's another one. Lemon means it's bad in American English. And how can someone say my car is bad to advertise? But it says that at Volkswagen, this car, Beetle, will always be a perfect one because we have over 350 quality control inspectors, and it will not come to you with any small defect. Again, here, the visual, or buy a Volkswagen, which means you're going to have to pay a lot for gas. They did a competition in America, and they said, for the person who has the oldest Beetle, if you bring it to us, we'll give you the latest model. And the man was using it as a tractor in one of the states, and he drove it, he cleaned it, he drove it, and went to the other state where they had the competition, and they put it next to the latest model, and there was no difference. So they said, we will not change the Beetle unless it will improve its performance. So people in America will not feel, ashamed that they're driving a 14-year-old Beetle because, it's always going to be the same. So you won't be ashamed of your neighbors. Again, here, Volvo is not a car. It was known for its safety. So the man who wrote the ad slept under it while they were carrying it from the weakest point. This is what I meant by reverse print, and I'll show you. This is reverse print, and this is easier, 60% easier to read especially when it's small. This is the example I'm talking about. See, If this was in a dark color over a light background, it would be 60% easier to read than that. When the typeface is bigger, it's all right, okay? So I usually read this during the, just before lunch. It says this, oops. This is what happens when a fly lands on your food. Flies can't eat solid food. So to soften it up, they vomit on it. Then they stamp the vomit in until it's a liquid, usually stamping in a few germs for good measure. Then when it's good and runny, they suck it all back again, probably dropping some excrement at the same time. And then when they've finished eating, it's your turn. So I usually say this before the lunch break. Okay, here, there's something called the Gutenberg diagonal. In English, people look from left to right and then down. In Arabic, they look from right to left. So the first thing you see here is you look at the picture. What is this? What does it look like? Then you start going to see what the headline says. Ah, it's the eyes of a dog. No surgeon in the world can help this blind man see, but a dog can. Go blind. Try going blind. Walk to the corner of the street with your eyes closed. Post a letter with your eyes closed. Buy a loaf of bread, and then walk to the corner of the street and post a check with your eyes wide open. The Guide Dogs for the Blind Association. Again, here is a lighter. This is the eye of a fish, and that's the mouth opened. You're not selling a lighter. It says the amazing story of a Zippo, that's the brand name, that worked after being taken from the belly of a fish. So they got the fish out of the water, opened its belly, took out the lighter, then did this, and it worked. So you're selling reliability when it comes to using a lighter. Okay. Again, Rinso is a detergent. And here they did a magazine ad, and the people in America asked for it to be put on a poster so that they could put it near their washing machines. So here it's talk about grease, what you do with grease, what you do with blood, and so on stains. I looked at the lipsticks because my wife would get me into trouble if I have lipsticks on my collar. So it says put some Vaseline on it and put some Rinso on it and put it in the sun for 10 days, then wash it and it'll disappear. Ambient media. Has anybody heard of ambient media? Anyone? Okay. Ambient media is here. This is a mall. This is the staircase, or what you call it. And that's a sticker of a dog on the floor, and people are walking on top of it. And it's about something called frontline flea and tick spray. It's a spray that gets rid of fleas. So the people look like fleas there. So it says, get them off your dog. So using places that you, elevators, malls, and here it's a harbor where they have this, and they're selling macaroni. All right. Here again, this is a sticker. It shows as if this Duracell is making this escalator. What's it called? This escalator? Move. Okay. Duracell battery. So this is called ambient media. In Dubai, they had problems and people left their cars at the airport and left the country. But at the same time, they did the metro. So it says here, I haven't left Dubai. I just love the metro. So using elements that are already there. Axe is a deodorant for men. And this is the logo of it. So it shows women are running. And then they put this behind the exit and showing a man going, and because he's wearing Axe, all the women are running after him. Again, this is in a bus selling watch. Here, they want to give loans at the bank. So they put this with a mirror in it outside. And the man, when he stands in front, he sees himself inside. So that influences him to go and to take a loan to buy the car. Again, this is in Las Vegas at the airport. Breaking the rules. Ashraf, can you tell me how much time we have? Or
We will take a break in 5 minutes.
okay, breaking the rules. Here, I was talking about headlines and body copy. Here it says nothing but fish. And this is a can of something called John West fish. And they show like the thing of a fishing rod, and they make the water. This looks like water, a ripple in the can. So that says it's like fresh. This again is for something against what do you call this when your women get they swell up or something. So they're using the back of the medicine, and they say before and after. Here, fiery fries, Burger King. So it looks like a matchstick. Okay. Again, Heinz hot ketchup. This I love this one because it reminds me of a story. Curry, it makes it hot. So I went to Mexico in Cancun, and I have Turkish and Indian ancestry in my family. So I love jalapeno peppers. So I asked the woman, I said, "Do you have any jalapeno peppers?" She said, "We have something hotter. It's called habaneros." I said, well, and she gave it to me. It's yellow and it's round. The jalapenos thin and long and red. And I took a bite of the habanero, and smoke came out of my ears. And she told me, "You can imagine if he's hot when he goes in, what happened when he goes out?" And it's true. When I went to the toilet, I was on fire. This is a bra that makes the breasts look bigger than they really are. So this, a person not wearing. This one is wearing the bra and then not wearing. So again, here, she's out in the sun wearing the bra, and this is the part that doesn't. Again, big, this is the sign for infinity. So they did a 10-second ad also going like this, which shows that it can go on and last forever. Here, you're not selling a four-wheel drive Maverick. You're selling, this is the road. You're selling adventure. You're selling freedom. Okay. Again, Pepsi, they're dying to go into the ice cubes are dying to go in. Here, this is in Dutch, but you don't need to know the language. It's like it's French as fish. I love this one. Here, you got this. It's reversing the rules. Well, what does it mean? So you can add anything here in it by changing the brand name, Cairo Toastmasters vitamins, Cairo Toastmasters vitamins. Okay. Again, these are sprays for cooking when you do the eggs and they get stuck to the pan. So even it gets them unstuck, and even the prices were unstuck here. And here again in the outdoor, they used it like it didn't stick, the outdoor. Here, the British have a sense of humor. This is for glue called Araldite. And they put a real car on the billboard, and it says, it also sticks handles to teapots. My God. Branding, okay, people know this. FedEx, I love because of the arrow. It takes things from one place to another. Chloride, the shattered O. Entrepreneurship, I'll just quickly finish this one because I'm a certified Sherry Blair Foundation mentor. I've helped 2 women in India and 2 women in Africa. And this is a lovely example. A woman had this book, Everything Men Know About Women. And she sold for over $1 million in 1 year. And guess what? The book is empty. You open it, it's all white pages. Can you believe that? So women buy it and they give it to their fiancé, give it to their husband. This is what you know about me. Again, Jenny Groover. She was pregnant and she had twins at the same time. And she went to the supermarket and she'd look, her kids would cry. She'd want Pampers. The phone would ring. She'd look for her credit card. She called it the black hole. When she went home, she looked at the dishwasher and opened it, and there were the things that carry the knives and forks, and she put it inside the bag. And since then, her butler bag has been selling for millions and millions of dollars. Jenny Groover butler bag. Again, Harrison Forbes, when he was very young, he was interested in animals, and so he would go to in the vacation to vet shops or to pet shops, and he became an expert. So one night he was called by Francis Ford Coppola, and he had a film. They told him, we have a film with Matt Damon. We have Doberman pinchers that we need to have barking, and we're 60 minutes away from your house. So he said, okay, I'll come to you tomorrow. They said, no, we'll pay you 10 times as much as your hourly rate. And he went, he probably pinched the eyes of the dog, the ears of the dog. And since then he became very famous, and he wrote a book called Dog Talk. Body language is important for Toastmasters, and I've got several books. And again, this is one thing that we all make mistakes in. This sign means good to Westerners. It means 1 to Italians. It means 5 to Japanese, and it means up yours to the Greeks. So we can't use this symbol in Toastmasters, at least in Greece, or if there are Greeks attending the session. Again, neuromimicry. People will imitate, like this monkey is imitating the woman. If you're walking with an old man, you will be limping like him. If somebody yawns all the time in front of you, we will all yawn. Okay, so this is called neuromimicry and body language. If you have snails scratching on a child, people will shudder. Or if you're sucking a lemon, or if somebody's playing football and they miss the goal, you go, ah, and so on. Smiling faces will have an effect on you. So I have all these books, biology, what makes people, it's a wonderful book, buy things. Supermarkets put their bakeries near the entrance, so you smell the coffee and the bakery and the baking, and it gets you to go into the supermarket. Then you find buy 2, get 1 free, and so on. New car spray, they have, when you go into the car, they have a special spray that affects the way you buy the car. Singapore Airlines, Madame Tussauds, the Singapore girls. So all these things, when you buy material, also mangoes. When I went to Bangkok, and I went to a restaurant where you choose your recipe, your food, and they cook it for you. So there were mangoes there, Indian mangoes. And they had the sign, please no squeeze, because I always squeeze the mango. If it's too hard, I won't buy it. If it's too soft, I won't buy it. If it just goes like this, I'll buy it. So they say, please no squeeze. Okay.
Let's take a 5-minute break.
Yeah, I just end by saying my mother told me that advertising was the most fun I would have with my clothes on. No, this was in a book, but she would have told me that. Thank you. Any questions or anything? We'll have a break. What do I do? Can I see everybody?
Does anyone have any questions? Okay.
Dina! Whoa, 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 whoa. So how can we see each other again?
Hi, Gilgil.
Hi, Dina.
Missed you so much.
Me too. We have people
How are
from
you?
all over. We have people from all over, from India, from Palestine, from
Wow.
different places. but we're
I
only
can imagine.
and Canada. But we're only
Wow.
very few. It's a pity.
That's
Anyway,
okay. You guys are
Ashraf,
recording it, right?
yeah, Ashraf is. Ashraf, can I see everybody or what?
Yeah, you can see everyone. Yeah,
How can I do?
you can close the stop
Stop
sharing.
sharing? Okay. Oh, okay. Hi guys. Rawan, Hoda, Miral. Are you related to Hazim Dir, Miral?
Actually, I wanted to tell you yes. I was waiting for you to finish the presentation to tell you yes. He's my
Yeah.
cousin. He's my uncle.
Wow.
Ammi.
You know, I've
Mm.
been trying to work with him for the past 50 years. And every
50.
time we say, every time we say, we'll meet at Pizza Hut and
Okay.
have lunch together so that he can hire me.
Okay.
He's your uncle?
Yes. And
Oh,
the first time I saw her, I kept saying, is he Galal Zaki? The one I hear about, is he Galal Zaki or not? And then I realized, like, I talked about advertising, I realized, okay, like, he is. Like, I
wow.
know that you guys know each other very well, yeah.
Wow. So are you into advertising, Miral?
Yes, I worked in advertising for so long, but now I left. I worked as a creative director.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, Tariq Noor hired me because I used to tell jokes to attract girls. So he told me,
Okay.
I want you to give me funny ideas.
Lovely.
Wow. Rawan, you're teaching, right?
I used to, but now I work in administrative, so it's
Okay.
more patient, so it's
Yeah,
any community, but it's also including some issues of
yeah. When are you coming to Cairo? You come and stay at our place.
I would love to, but the situation is a little bit hard now, so
Yeah, yeah.
inshallah very soon.
Allah.
Oh,
Priyesh Kumar. Priyesh.
Hey, hi.
Hi, are you with Jaspreet, the same group?
Yeah, I'm from the same Toastmasters, just great. Yeah.
Wow, wow. Thank you for yesterday you gave me my 65th table topic award.
Oh, that's great to hear. I'm
Thank
happy.
you.
Thank you.
So what are you in, Priyesh? What do you do?
So right now, I'm a graduate student. I'm studying quantitative management. So
Wow, lovely,
it's just a business course. Yeah.
lovely,
Thank you.
lovely. So I will try and share with you because they're very heavy, the stuff. But with Ashraf, if you can help me, we can share with the groups all the presentations. Now
I
I
sent.
spoke about effective integrated marketing communication and the robustic model, which is a lovely tool that helps us. And then I would like to go into creativity. I've been through some of it. I will share there are over 44 ways. I showed some of them, and I will share the whole thing. It's called the Creative Toolkit. And then something else about corporate social responsibility, because as I mentioned, I did a World Summit, and unfortunately, people still don't know the difference between philanthropy and corporate social responsibility, CSR. And I think it's very important for a country like Egypt and developing countries, because when you are harming people, we do that here in Egypt by giving them something. It does. Why should they work if you give them things for free? But with corporate social responsibility, it's sustainable. That's the difference. Is that the company that's participating is making money, but at the same time creating jobs for the people who are needy. And so it's a win-win for everybody. I will explain that. And I think this is a very important thing for us in Egypt.
Gilgil, should we take a 5-minute break?
Yes, sir. So go and have coffee and things like that? Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, guys.
We'll be back
And don't
in.
forget to have gulab jamun there, okay?
All right,
Okay.
we will be back in 5 minutes at 10.
Okay, thanks. Take care.
The break is for 10 minutes or 5 minutes?
5 minutes, but whatever you like. I can't see who's speaking. Is it Jaspreet?
Yes, I'm just Preet.
Do you want it for longer? We can do it, whatever.
No, I just need to ask about the creative director because I think there are two people who are creative directors or have been. Can you give me some insights into what goes into it, what people do, and how it really comes to life when you're working on something like that in advertising?
Just a second. I'm trying to. Oops. I'm trying to see you. Can you see me, Jaspreet?
Yes, I can.
You're covering. You're not. Okay. You have two people with you. You say?
No, I heard someone else who is a creative director too. So I'm just asking because you have also been a creative director years
Yes.
ago.
Yes.
So if I mean, the thing I really want to know is some insights into what goes into that work and responsibilities and
Oh,
how it
okay.
works inside the agency in
Okay.
the advertising.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I told you that I was hired because I used to tell jokes, and the person, he's become very famous. He's got several advertising agencies, and he's got a television channel. He's a very famous person in Egypt. And he hired me because I used to tell jokes. And he told me, Galal, I want you to work with me. I said, what is it going to be? He said, creative director. I said, what does that mean? He says, I want you to give me funny ideas. At the time, advertising was still beginning. It was not really, it was controlled by the government, television and so on. So you have a creative director can come from two sides, either a copywriter, someone who's good like you do the creation. So you're good at words, all right, writing words, or an art director. And the creative director comes on top of both art director and copywriter. Now, I had the opportunity of teaching as a professor of practice in integrated marketing communications because both practice and academia complement each other, all right? So I gained a lot from this. When we were working in advertising, we didn't know this robotic model. Ask your creative director if he knows the robotic model, you know? That's one thing they should know, and they should know about also artwork and copy. What and things like you're selling the sizzle, not the stick. And with what's happening in the social media and advertising, they make things move very fast. So we say it's not creative if it doesn't sell. You know, so people talk about something and then they have a famous television campaign about chickens talking to each other, and they're trying to sell a chicken bouillon. So you tell them, okay, what are they selling? They tell you Maggie, and it is not Maggie. They tell you Queen, and it is not Queen. They tell you fine foods, and it's not. So it's not creative if it doesn't sell, you know? So they're trying to sell Knorr. So there are things that in practice and academia that complement each other, and this lifelong learning. I am now 80 years old, and I discovered I won a Lifetime Achievement Award from the International Advertising Association. I became Secretary General of the 36th International Advertising Association World Congress, and I had to go to South Korea to compete to get against different countries to get the conference to be done in Egypt. So where would you do, what would you do if you had to do that, Jaspreet? Hello?
Hello, yes, I'm listening.
Yeah. What would you do if you were supposed to compete against a lot of countries that were, you know, the Congress was held every 2 years or something, to bring the conference, International Advertising Congress, to your country? What would you do? And it's being held, the competition is being held in South Korea, Seoul, South Korea.
I mean, bringing your best work.
How will you get the people to vote for you instead of England or America or Japan or whatever?
Getting the best effective creative ideas
How?
and implementing them.
What would you tell them?
Tell them what they need.
What do they need? So you're competing against different countries. You know, if you're competing against, I don't know, which is your favorite country?
My own.
Okay, so what's special about your country that would get them to come?
Our culture is diverse.
Okay. What if you told them, I'll get you free on Air India, free first class tickets for all those who attend, and get you to stay at the hotels for free? What?
They might go with the free advertising.
Maybe you can tell them on promote Air India as and say, I'll give you 50% off for those who are coming to attend the conference in India, on Air India. So, and you get Air India to become one of your business partners, and you tell them at the conference also you will you know, have a special booths for them and promote them on all the flyers and so on. I can give you an example of a conference that the first advertising conference I did for Egypt, for the Arab world in Egypt. And I had to attend several conferences to make a network, to get to know people. I attended I went to Japan, and I went to the top 2 agencies in Japan, Dentsu and Hakuhodo. And I attended a World IAA Congress in Japan. And I went to another one in Turkey and in Korea. So I made a lot of a network. And one of my American friends told me, Galal, your network is your net worth. And it's true. You know, I help people. So whenever I ask for help, they help me. And I did this World Congress. I was preparing for 2 years for it on advertising in the Arab world. And after the first year, I was about to send out, you know, to people to tell them. And we had a terrorist attack in Egypt, and the tourism industry was completely demolished. So I had to wait for another year. And since the tourism industry was out, I made a deal with our airline, Egypt Air. I said, I'm going to do, you know, 10,000 posts for people to come and attend on Egypt Air. So give us 50% off on your, and I will promote you in all the thing. And then I went to the Herald Tribune, who was a speaker at one of the conferences. I said, I told them, give me 3/4 pages for free, and I will, you know, get you as a speaker and get 10 of your delegates for free to attend the conference. At the time, we didn't have internet and so on. I invited DHL. I said, I want 10,000 courier DHL, and I will make you the official, you know, conference, so on. So I managed to get from different entities in kind, and that's what made the conference succeed. That was for it was called Ad Vista Arabia. But I'll give you an, sorry?
Let's go to let's continue the presentation.
How can I don't know what happened to my screen.
What happened?
I can't see. What do I do?
I'm not sure.
Refresh view. Can you guys can see me, right?
Yeah,
okay, I got it. Everybody home? Everybody back?
Yes, we're all back.
Jaspreet, I don't know if I answered your question or not.
Yes, you have.
Okay, let me give you an example. When we're supposed to go to Korea, what I did, I went to the Korean embassy in Egypt. Okay, I needed to, you have to know everything about the people they are the stars that you are addressing. But there are going to be a lot of foreigners too. But Korea was hosting the event. So I went to the Korean embassy and I told them, I want to pitch for Egypt to bring the next World Congress to Egypt. What is special about Korea? So they told us, you're going to be staying at the Seoul Hilton Hotel. And they said, we like to be known as the land of morning calm. Okay, so I took that down. Then I wrote my speech in English, and I asked them at the embassy if they could translate this for me in Korean so that I could talk to them in Korean. So they translated it, and I wrote it in English, you know, it was in Korean. And then I went and spoke to them in Korean. So this immediately attracted, there were around 1,000 delegates. Most of them were from Korea. So when they voted, they saw that, you know, I spoke to them in their language and so on. And they voted for us, and we hosted the conference. I turned the words, a very warm welcome from the heart of Egypt to the soul of the advertising industry gathered here in the land of morning calm. I said that, and Seoul, by the way, I'm playing on the word Seoul as the capital of South Korea and Seoul as the soul of human beings. So I said that in Korean at the beginning. So this is what got it. I'll try and give you the video now. how can I do that? Share screen? Okay. Okay. Can you hear this?
Thank you.
Can you hear?
Thank you. 신사 순요 여러분 안녕하세요. 조용한 아침의 나라 대한민국으로부터 이집대로 오신 것을 진심으로 환영합니다. 고맙습니다. And that's all the Korean I know. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the President of the IAA Egypt chapter, Mr. Adel Afifi, we extend a very warm welcome from the heart of Egypt to the soul of the advertising industry gathered here in the land of morning calm.
Okay. So you got that, Jaspreet?
When was this again?
Yes, I have.
This was a very long time ago, in the mid-80s. I used to have a beard, but my wife got me to shave it because she told me it started to look and feel like a toilet brush. Although we paid millions, you know, and with my beard, I was known as Mr. Spicy in Chicken Tikka. Okay, so let me go to Creative Toolkit. Anybody want to ask questions? Is everybody back on board? No? Dina.
I'm back, Gilgil.
Great, great.
Let's go
Okay.
for it. I'm excited.
Okay, so let me go into creativity. It's called the Creative Toolkit, and there are over 40 ways of being creative. Okay, can you see the screen? Yeah?
Yes, we can.
Ashraf? Huh?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Number one, without words, how can the unique selling proposition, what USP is, what makes you unique from your competitors, be depicted without words? How can you do it? Yes.
Gilgil, please اعمل stop sharing تاني.
Stop sharing.
Yes. And then share. Screen.
And then share.
And then screen number one. Oh.
Sorry?
The entire screen.
What? I don't understand.
خلاص دوس share.
اللي هي دي Creative Toolkit. أعمل إيه؟
احنا مش شايفينها لسه.
مش شايفينها؟
No.
I don't understand. How do I do?
Gilgil, let me share it from my end. I will share it from my end.
Can you see this?
No,
Can you
we
see?
can. No, we can't.
You can't?
No. I will share it from my end.
Screen here.
خلاص, I shared it.
You shared it?
Yes. Everyone can see it.
And then I can make it work, right?
You tell me next and I will go next.
I did next. Can you see that? Did it change or not?
No.
Okay. Okay, so without words, how can the unique selling proposition, what makes you unique, be depicted without any words? How can the benefit be portrayed in one picture? How might the USB be communicated in a silent film? How could a story be told in simple sign language? Next. I can't see. Shall I move mine? I can see mine.
Yeah.
Can you see?
They can see my screen.
Okay, I move. Okay, you see a big ballpoint, right? Big. Is
لا
that the
أشرف,
one?
we don't see your screen.
You got?
Huh?
You what?
We don't see you. We see Galal's screen.
You see mine. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay.
بس لا, we see the folders. We don't see the presentation itself.
Because you have to click on the other screen, Ashraf's screen. That's why. That's how I can see it now.
Can you guys see now?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so now you can see without words. Whoops, I can't see it now.
Okay.
What? Huh?
1 second. 1 second. There we go.
Okay, you see without words. That's one way of being creative. This is a big ballpoint, and they have the sign of infinity. And they did this also as an audio visual. They had the big going this way all the time for 10 seconds. So without words, it's effective. It's like it'll go on forever. Next. Here you're not selling, I mentioned it before, a four-wheel drive. You're selling, here's the road, and this is freedom, adventure. So without words and just a few things, the brand name, you're not selling a four-wheel drive, you're selling adventure and freedom. Next. Again, without words, the ice cubes are dying to go into the Pepsi bottle or glass. Next. Next, that's number 2, mixing and matching. How can the product be combined with something else in order to make the selling proposition clear? How can the problem and the solution be combined to make the product message unambiguously clear in a single picture? Next. So here again, they have a can of fish. This is written in Dutch. I don't know Dutch, but you don't need to know the language to see that, this is like this in this can is like fresh fish. Next. This one, everything that begins well deserves to end well. I don't understand. I don't understand this one. This is about brushing your teeth and something sweet that I can't read the thing now, but it's okay. You'll get it and you can look at it on your own. Next. Tobacco kills more than heroin and cocaine together. So again, they've got the visual. They don't have a lot of words. Next. Again, comparative juxtaposition. Okay, next, I'll show you. Here, this is for an anti-dandruff Head and Shoulders. So this has got no dandruff and this has got dandruff. Can you see the picture when it grows big? What it says, what the dandruff says? Can anybody see something written?
Before.
Before. So it's like before the dandruff, but after, without saying it, you're not going to have dandruff. Okay? Next. Again, this is an outdoor thing, and it's talking about detergent without saying anything, and they've got the brand name. Next. Repetition and accumulation. Keep repeating things. Next. Here. This is selling an Nescafe, right? And then what does this look like? At all times of the day, you can have it, okay? Morning, afternoon, evening, and so on. Next. Again here, Tibet, and there was something against, I can't read the thing because it's small, the screen for me. Tibet, there was a problem with China, and Tibet is occupied by China. Your concern can keep Tibet alive. Swiss-Tibetan Friendship Society. So Swiss-Tibetan, this symbol is Swiss, and also here, and for graveyards, and then as well as Tibet. Okay, so repetition. Next. Exaggeration. You know, making it, what can be added, make it bigger, make it longer, make it heavier, make it thicker, and so on. Next. So we see, for example, next. This is about Volkswagen bus. So it says passenger seat, rear seat, and so it makes it look like a huge bus. Next. Here again, Thomson widescreen television. So they show this, sofa that's huge. So it means you have a very, very wide screen for television. Next. So turn it right around. And this is the one, my favorite one. Next, see? Here. So this is supposed to be weaker than that. That's guys supposed to be running away from this one. But then they say here, Dina Abu Saif vitamins. Okay, so Dina Abu Saif has the vitamins have made the weak stronger than the strong. Next. Next. Omissions and suggestions. Next. Okay, so here again, this is a four-wheel drive and it belongs to the president of the company. Next. So Millennium, okay, so there's the M here and the M here missing. It just won't be complete without M and M. Okay, so I won't go into this. I'll share this. There are over 40 ways of being creative, and it helps us to, when we want to do some creative work, by adapting, saying it with words, without words, and making it bigger or smaller, and so on. Any questions so far?
Actually, I would like to ask something.
Yeah.
I noticed in some of the pictures that you showed that the advertisement is trying to give an idea, but I truly can't understand it. Like the one, for example, of the smoking. I mean, if I saw it somewhere and I just looked at the cigarette, I won't understand it. I won't understand the idea behind it. So sometimes it's not so clear, or maybe it's clearer to someone, but not to everyone. So how can we do something that is easier, or make it, easier for everyone to understand?
Here, it's supposed to show heroin and cocaine together, but it tells you tobacco kills more than both heroin and cocaine, if you read what's written. I did a tobacco control campaign, and I did a workshop for the region. You know that, what you call it, people who don't smoke, but who are available in, like mothers who smoke near their kids, that tens of thousands of people die of passive smoking. So what happens is, when you say you don't understand it, any advertising campaign has to be pre-tested with the target audience. So if I'm selling a product to the women, I need to pre-test it before that and see, do they understand where are the things that are not understood. So what can we do to get the communication to be correct? So you remember at the beginning of Robustic, we said the research. So, okay, yes, you need to find out who are your consumers, who are your competitors, what do they know about your product, and what is it that they really want out of that product. All right. So I don't know if I answered your question, Rawan.
Yes, thank you.
But again, using research as a guide, not a god. When I told you about convincing my client that I would do an ad that would not show the product, would not mention the name of the, and would get the consumer to go and buy competitive products, I told them I'm going to do the research. I did the research. I used to come out in the ad as a chef for an edible oil. And the campaigns before that came, please take care. The people got to know me as the chef of the brand called Sila. Now, when I came out without saying anything, and we asked the people, what is this man selling? So some started telling them, because they saw me before in the ads, they said, Sila, one person who graduated from the faculty of mass comm or marketing something, said this is a horrible ad, because if I were living abroad outside Egypt, and haven't seen these ads, I wouldn't know what this man was talking about. So I convinced my client. I told him, Adel, she represents 1% of my target audience. I'm talking to over 140 million Egyptians who are living in Egypt. You know, so that's how I sold him. I went against that one person, you know. So research, yes. Any other questions? Okay, shall we go into CSR? Or I don't know, I'm not controlling this.
CSR?
Yeah, corporate social responsibility. How can I control this again?
This is on my computer again, so you can't control it from your end.
I can't, huh?
No.
Corporate social responsibility, okay. Can anybody tell me what they know about CSR or corporate social responsibility?
What I know is that every corporate has this responsibility towards the social community around it. For example, because they get money from this community, okay? So they need also to spend money for two reasons. The one is advertising their work too. And the second thing is helping the community to develop. Isn't that the idea about it?
Okay, I'm just trying to get the screen again. I don't know what's happening. Okay. Okay.
Corporate social responsibility could be where the companies are not exploiting people, consumers, and they're trying to help instead.
Okay. The difference between philanthropy, which is giving money mainly, and CSR is that corporate social responsibility is sustainable. For it to be sustainable, the company that's doing it has to make money. So if I'm giving philanthropy, giving money away, I can give it when I'm making money, okay, as a public relations tool. People are giving money, this company is giving us money, so we'll buy their product. But if I'm not making money, I will stop giving it. And that's the difference between CSR and philanthropy. I'll take you through the presentation. Ashraf, can we go through it, please? Okay. I feel still in Egypt, it's not understood. So this is a definition of philanthropy. I won't go about it. It's giving money mainly to people, okay, who are in need. And we have it in Islamic religion. We have something like it, but it's not it. It's called zakah and sadaqah. Okay, next. Can you make the screen bigger for me? I can hardly see it. Can it be bigger or what? I don't know why it's not. No, I can cross out the.
Ashraf, it's not.
Okay, it's better now.
Better?
Okay, next.
Full screen.
Ashraf?
That's what?
Okay. Okay, I will share this with you. I won't go through it a bit, but philanthropy is the act of donating money, goods, time, or effort to support a charitable cause, usually over an extended period of time and regard to defined objective. In a more fundamental sense, philanthropy may encompass any altruistic activity which is intended to promote good or improve human quality of life, and it's usually done as a public relations tool this company is giving us these things, so we will buy their products or we will use their services. Next. Zakat, again, I won't go through that. It's something in the Muslim religion, but we will share all this with you. Next. Again, the same with sadaqah, charity. Next. Corporate social responsibility, a concept where companies integrate social and environmental concerns, because what's happening to the world today is we, not our children, are not going to find food or water the way we are destroying the world on 3 levels, okay? And I'll get to talk about that. And I would want you to, if you write that down, please, Annie Leonard, The Story of Stuff on YouTube. I want you to see that because it's very, very important. She really tells us all about what we are doing to our planet and why CSR is important. So other terms used to refer the same concept: corporate environmental and social responsibility, corporate citizenship, and corporate responsibility. Next, please. Okay, CSR, again, I don't want to, okay, is a concept that states that organizations, especially, but not only commercial businesses, have a duty of care to all of their stakeholders in all aspects of their operation. This duty of care is seen to go beyond their statutory obligation to comply with laws, legislation. It's closely linked with the principles of sustainable development, which argue that enterprises should be obliged to make decisions based not only on financial or economic factors, example, profit, return on investment, dividend payments, etc., but also on both the immediate and long-term social, environmental, and other consequences of their activities. I'll explain that further. Next, please. Okay, so today we are, if you want to be socially responsible in this world, as we are completely destroying it, everybody's destroying it in every way, you're not talking about the bottom line or profitability. You're talking about the triple bottom line if you're going into corporate social responsibility. So the idea that the overall performance of a company should be measured based on its combined contribution to economic prosperity, okay, they should make money and so on, and help people make money. Environmental quality, we have to be careful about our environment, and social capital. So today, the triple bottom line, or the triple P, is profit, planet, people. Okay, and I'll explain to you what we mean by the triple P. Next. Ada. Okay. Any group or individual who can affect or is affected by an organization or its activities. Also, any individual or group that can help define value propositions for the organization. We have to look at the stakeholders now. We're talking about people. We said people, planet, profit, okay? Next. Engagement. We need to engage with these people. Organization's effort to understand and involve the stakeholders and their concerns in its activities and decision-making process. The companies need to engage with the different publics. Next. Partnerships. Okay, let's go into the next one. Yeah. Okay, this is the important one, sustainable development. Our common future, which composes that for development to be sustainable, it should meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Jump, next. Okay, accountability. An organization can be considered as accountable when it accounts to stakeholders regarding material issues, transparency. In fact, they have to pay taxes, they have to show their billings, they have to show that they're not stealing money. Response to stakeholder regarding these issues, responsiveness on an ongoing basis and complies with standards and with rules and regulations that comply with statutory reasons comply. I want to jump these things because I want to go into the, okay, what is a stakeholder list? And we mentioned, I showed you the stakeholder stakeholder before. It's everybody and anyone who can be affected. Okay, next. And that's the stakeholder mapping. Next, okay. This is not CSR. Here it starts to become important now. It's not correcting social inequalities. It is not public relations. It is not establishing simple stakeholder relationship. It is not simply following regulations. Next. This is CSR. It's behaving ethically for people, planet, and profit, for making money, paying taxes, not giving bribes, and so on. People, and I'll talk about people again, no child labor, no discrimination against women, and so on. Planet, not polluting the planet. Behaving ethically, assuring environmental protection, that's the planet. Addressing stakeholder concerns, that's, again, people. And being transparent, that's the side of financial side, the pay taxes, not give bribes, and so on. Next. Okay, these are three different things. I can't see them now. The part about financial is you pay taxes and so on. So it's profit, people, planet. Aywa. Okay, profit, planet, people. Okay, pay taxes, observe the law, deal fairly financially. Then level 2, organizational, minimize negative effects, act in the spirit of the law. Level 3, societal, responsibility for healthy society, help remove all and alleviate society's ills and problems. So here in people also, it's no child labor, no discrimination against women, no, not making them work overtime without paying them. That with the profit, we have to pay taxes. We have to be very clear about how we're making money and how it's being spent. And the planet, we mustn't pollute the planet. Next. What are the benefits of corporate social responsibility? It generates goodwill. It strengthens corporate and brand reputation. It builds a committed, motivated workshop. When I am working for a company that is doing good for the society, I'll be proud of working there. It improves the quality and customer service. It helps attract the best talent. Best people want to come in and work for you. It reduces costs, it reduces risks, and improves access to capital. I need to summarize all this in just a few slides after that. Next. Okay, this is all this material I got from a world summit, 4-day summit in Dubai. And then based on that, I organized a world summit in Egypt, and we raised over £1 million at the American Chamber of Commerce, and we had people like Jeffrey Sachs on video with us, and so on. During that summit in Dubai, they told us that Shell in Nigeria polluted the waters in Nigeria. So there was somebody who started demonstrating against them, and the result was that the Nigerian government executed this man. What happened? And there was a Nigerian woman attending there. I went and told her, "Is this true?" She said yes. And what happened out of this was everybody in America, Europe, Australia, Canada, people boycotted Shell. So they turned from bad person to good person, and there's something about that. The same with boycott Nike, had a problem with People, Planet, Profit, GAG for Gap, McMurder. You know, all these companies were attacked because of they're not conforming with the People, Planet, Profit campaigns. Next. So, okay, this story tells us about how they came out from good people to good people. Shell. Next. Next. Okay, these are my favorite story is CEMEX. And this is the perfect example of the difference between charity or philanthropy and CSR. CEMEX in Mexico, they produced cement. They went to the government and told them the people don't have homes, all right? There is this empty piece of land. You, government, extend the electricity, the sewage, the water, and we will teach the people how to build their homes and give them the tools, the cement and the tools to build the homes. This will cost them 30% less because they will be building. And we will ask them to pay their money over 20 years. So the people had jobs and built their own homes, and they paid for them. And this is why it becomes sustainable, because CEMEX made money out of it and at the same time benefited the people, and the government was happy. When this succeeded, they went to the Mexicans who emigrated to America, and they did this. So this is one of my favorite examples of CSR and why it becomes sustainable. It's not about giving money. Now, it has to be part of your core business. So we have here in Egypt a problem of, say, Vodafone. They're a phone company. They're paying money for schools. What does this have to do with their making money? So this is philanthropy. This is not making money. They can make money by offering their hotline number, Vodafone, and every time it can be for free, but they can take part of it to solve problems. If you have a sewage problem, call this number. If you have whatever kind of problems that can go working with the government and creating a little money for Vodafone out of it, so they become a good corporate citizen using their own core business, not something else. So we go to another one. Okay, these are the examples. And I love this from the region here in Saudi Arabia. The Jamil brothers in Saudi Arabia were they had the franchise for a brand of cars. I forgot, Toyota. It used to be Toyota. They no longer are. But Jamil brothers had the brand of Toyota. So what they did is they gave these Toyota cars for free to people to turn into taxis. Now, these people would pay out of the money that they made out of their taxis. So Toyota made money out of it, and whenever they needed to change tires, they would buy Toyota parts. So that's another example of being your core business, helping people. And for me, it's much better than giving something for free. No, you are creating jobs and making money out of it because it's your core business, and so it becomes sustainable. That's what I wanted to. Next. Okay, now for corporate social responsibility, the top of the organization has to agree to it. So buy-in has to come from the top. Next. No one size fits all. Countries have different priorities and values. Next. Okay, now the Global Compact. For you to do CSR, you have to become a member of the United Nations Global Compact and adhere to the 10 Global Compact principles. Here they are, and they're divided into the 3 people, planet, profit. Human rights, principle 1. businesses should support and respect the protection of internationally proclaimed human rights. 2, make sure that they are not complicit in human rights abuses. Next, labor standards. Businesses should uphold the freedom of association and the effective recognition of the right to collective bargaining. They have to listen to their employees. The next, the elimination of all forms of forced or compulsory labor. Next, the effective abolition of child labor. No child labor. The elimination of discrimination in respect of employment and occupation, like women's empowerment also. For the environment, business should support a precautionary approach for environmental challenges, not pollute the environment, undertake initiatives to promote greater environmental responsibility, encourage the development and diffusion of environmentally friendly technologies, and then financially anti-corruption. Business should work against all forms of corruption, including extortion and bribery. Okay, now these are very important, and any CSR company that wants to, or organization wanting to do CSR has to join the United Nations Global Compact. Next. Okay, now there are major organizations. GRI is Global Reporting Initiative. For you to become a proper CSR, you have to put all your books open to the general public. Everybody has to know what you're making, how you're spending it. Do you have child labor? Are you observing the 10 Global Compact rules or not? So you become transparent in front of the whole world. Okay, so all these are different principles for responsible investment, European Foundation, and so on. But the most important one for me is Global Reporting Initiative. Okay, next. Benefits of self-assessment for CSR, of providing highly structured fact-based technique, identifying, integrate CSR into organizations' policy and strategy, and so on. Next. Here is the Global Reporting Initiative that I mentioned. Next. Transparency, inclusiveness, auditability, completeness. Next. I want to summarize. Huh?
We have 5 minutes till 9.
Okay, let's jump. Next. 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 Okay. These 63% of the 150 largest entities are companies. 63% are companies, not countries. Okay. So in America, these revenues, Japan, Germany, and so on. Next. Next. Okay, next. I come to you now. Next. These are useful contacts. I'll share all this with you. Next. In Egypt, past, present, and future, I go very quickly through that. And I come back with the government wanted to take control. It's not going to work out. Next. I did, okay, next. 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 All this is about what's happened in Egypt next, but I come up with one final suggestion to us as well as to anybody else. Next. Next. Okay, this is what I mentioned, sorry. What's her name? Annie Leonard. Toxins, there are, and you have to see the video. Annie Leonard, please, on YouTube, Story of Stuff. And she tells us that toxins in our lipstick, shampoos, furniture, toys, even newborn babies have 287 industrial chemicals in their umbilical cords. So we are destroying our people, our planet. Okay? And then, therefore, growth should be sustainable communities, economies, and environment. Next. Al Gore came here and he said 90 million tons of carbon dioxide. We are killing the sea life. 6.8 billion people in 100 years. The aluminum cans are thrown. If they collect those from the last 10 years, he told us, you will build the world's airline fleets 25 times over. This is what Al Gore came and told us 10 years ago. Next, I just want to end now. Okay. Everybody's trying to I coined this out CSR the other. People want to say, I'm number one, I'm CSR. Okay, next, please. I come up with something in a world that's become so interconnected. If a person sneezes in Mexico, another person catches swine flu in Cairo or Amman. It happened to me, by the way, when I went to a conference. Next, I come up with this, PRSD. Partnership for Responsible, Sustainable Development. Government as an enabler, not a controller. The government can give us the water, the electricity, and so on, but not control. Corporate are the driving engine of CSR. More than money, they have the tools, Cemex, the Toyota people giving you, they have their core business that can help provide people with jobs and make them make money. NGOs are the people on the ground. They know which part of the country needs what. Here we need this, here we need that. The non-governmental media can start promoting what we are talking about. Academia, we should go down to schools and universities and teach children about no pollution, get them to carry things into that are there. Nobody throws anything. Anybody, we can create a sign language. And I told my creative guy, what can I do? He said, well, on Facebook, you have this in green and that in red. I said, no, we want something that people who can't even listen and speak use it. So I can do this, for example, like crying and showing somebody he's doing something wrong, or do that when he's doing something right. So when we see somebody who's getting money under the table, we all go like that, so they know that this government official is corrupt. He's trying to take money from us, and of course donors. So that's my solution. After all that is partnerships for responsible, sustainable development. Thank you, Ashraf. That's it.
Thank you so much, Galgal,
I'm
for
sorry
all of
this
this.
didn't turn out to be as sexy as the other session, but yeah.
That was very sexy.
Thank you so much, Gilgil. It was amazing as always.
Dina, you're always